Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Learn to Draw Pokemon with LTP Alters. To get started, we're going to need some basic tools, and we're going to go through these right now. So first of all, you're going to need a good writing pad or drawing pad, or even just grab a stack of A4 paper. It doesn't really matter, just something to draw on. Secondly, a good pencil. You don't have to have the poop emoji on there like I do. But this is a HB, so it's easy to rub out and it's not too dark when you draw with it. Make sure it's sharpened. Thirdly, we've got an eraser. We're going to have to rub our work out later on, so make sure that you have a good eraser that's not going to leave marks. A pencil sharpener is always handy because you might break your lead as you go through. And then finally a pen. So a biro or an art pen like this, make sure that it doesn't smear when you rub it out, otherwise it could ruin your work later. Now we've got our tools, let's get started. So most drawings are made up of shapes, and this is especially the case with Pokemon. So we're going to be using 3 main shapes today. First of all, a circle. JigglyPuff is a circle shape, so it's quite an easy one. Next up is an oval. We use these for different things on the Pokemon, such as arms and legs, so they're quite common. And next up we've got a triangle. You'll see this when we do the ears, for example. All 3 of these shapes are really common in most Pokemon. So let's get JigglyPuff up on screen. There she is. Now we can use this as reference throughout. So the first thing that we're going to do is draw a massive circle on the page. Because as you can see, JigglyPuff is basically one big ball. I'll try and do this as neatly as you can because this is going to be our frame for the rest of the drawing. The next thing we're going to do is JigglyPuff's quiff. We're going to come about 1/3 of the way in on the right hand side, and you're going to draw a line over the top. So it comes up a little bit and then round, like a big quiff. And then there's another line that tucks in underneath that. You don't have to worry about doing this too neatly at the moment because later on we'll be going over it in pen. Let's do the ears next. So these are triangles, so you want to come straight up on the right hand side and do a triangle shape, and then the same on the left. Make sure they're in proportion. The next thing to do is put the inners of the ears on, and this is just another triangle. With the bottom line you want to follow it around the circle that we've drawn to keep it neat, and then do the same on the left and right hand sides. You'll notice that my JigglyPuff is slightly more symmetrical than the one pictured. This is just to make it easier to draw to start with. Now we've got the ears and the quiff in place. Next we can move on to doing the rest of the body and the arms. So we're about halfway down the body on the left hand side. And you're going to draw the arm in there, and this is just an oval as we talked about at the start. The other arm will go in the middle once we finish the main body. What we're going to do now is neaten up the edge of the circle we originally drew, because it's going to become part of the body so we can put the feet in. We come down just from the quiff and draw in the foot so it doesn't stick out too much. It shouldn't go past the arm. And then just round it off at the bottom, just to make it neat. We're going to do the same on the other side of the other foot, but it needs to face in the opposite direction. Now that we've done that, we can come down again and just put the other arm in. Just make sure you leave it open at one end, just like on the picture. Next thing to do are the eyes. These are 2 big circles because JigglyPuff has big eyes. Remember the circles we drew at the start. To make this easier, if you draw a faint line down the centre of JigglyPuff, you'll make it symmetrical. And then just lightly sketch in the circles for now. Make sure they're roughly the same size and that they are at the same level on your drawing. JigglyPuff also has a cute little smile, so you can put that in now too. Now gently go around the outside of the circles that you've drawn. Take your time with this, make sure they're nice and neat. This will make it easier later on when we use our pen. And then inside the circles that you've drawn, you need to do another circle. But leave a gap around the outside. This is where the white of the eyes will be. Then finally, we're just going to put another little circle in each one. Now we can see all the shapes that we've used throughout this drawing so far. It's really important that you practice your shapes, especially circles, because they can be quite hard to draw. Now we're moving on to our final stage where we need our pen. So make sure you've got a good pen, and remember, it shouldn't smear when you put your rubber over it. We're going to go very neatly and very carefully around all the lines that we've already drawn, but we'll do this together. So try not to rush ahead just in case you do the wrong line. So if we start at the quiff and just very gently follow the line along, and this is going to be your final drawing line, so make sure it's neat and you take time with it. You can do it in sections like I'm doing here, or you can do it as one continuous line, whichever you find easier. Don't do the line around the original circle because that's now covered by the quiff. We don't want that to show. Now follow the ears very gently and carefully around. This is where I have to get closer to my book, otherwise I can't concentrate enough. I work from top to bottom so that I don't smear my work, but it's completely up to you how you feel comfortable going over your character. Now we're on to the tricky bit, which is the eyes. So circles are always the hardest, but this time we've really got to take our time. Even after many years of doing this, I still find circles really hard when it comes to the final pen. That's why I'm getting closer and closer to my paper as we go. I always start with the inner circles, and then it makes it easier to do the outside. Make sure you try and keep the same distance around, using the picture for reference. The more you practice at these, the better you'll become. And now we have our penned JigglyPuff. So the last thing to do is to erase the pencil marks. First thing to check is just to make sure your ink is dry before you start trying to erase it. Fast drying pens are much easier for this. So try and just gently go across your drawing. You don't have to press down too hard with your eraser. And just get rid of those pencil lines underneath your pen. This is why it pays well not to press down too hard with your pencil when you're doing your initial sketching. Once all your pencil marks are gone, you can get rid of the excess. You now have a JigglyPuff that you can colour in or copy to practice in the future. You can find the PDF breakdown of this drawing in the comments. Hi, this is Chloe from L2P Alters. Thank you so much for watching the video. Every Sunday at 12 o'clock there will be a new Learn to Draw series video up on YouTube. If you'd like to follow my other socials, please scan the QR code at the end of the video. Thank you for your support.